You can see me that I'm there. When you can see, you can't believe. It is not possible to believe what you see because you don't have to believe what you see. You have to believe only when you can't see. Believing has to do with things not seen.
Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know that I am God. Be still and know. Be still and know that I. This is God's word for you. Be still. No matter what you're going through. Be still and know that I am God. I am the Lord that healeth thee. I am the Lord that healeth thee. I am the God that healeth. I am the God that healeth. Sing, you are the God that healeth me. You are the God that healeth me. You are the God that healeth me. You are the God that healeth. Admissions are now open for the Full Gospel Bible College conducted by Sam P. Chelladurai. Classes begin from 12th January 2015. For details, write to FGBC PO Box 494, Chennai 7. You can also contact us by phone or email.
To the original readers who read Mark's Gospel in Mark's day, and to the present readers, the current readers, which is us all over the world today reading the Gospel of Mark, it has a message for us. The message is faith. I'll show you that it is faith and faith only. So Jesus saw the fig tree, no fruit, goes near, finds no fruit. He says, let no man eat fruit of you hereafter. Then the temple story starts. That's why they say this is about the temple. But as far as you can see, you can very clearly see the temple story is not there because it is about the temple. It's there because that is the sequence in which things happened. They're just coming into Jerusalem. On the way, the tree was cursed. Then next step, they went into Jerusalem. The Jerusalem thing is not something that someone came and inserted here to make sense out of the fig tree miracle, you know. Some even claim that Mark was telling the fig tree story and somehow he thought, you know, that the temple story must be stuck in there so that people will understand it and see it as the temple thing and not as the faith thing, you know, which is not true. So listen to this. First 3 verses, 12 to 14, talks about how the tree was cursed. Then 15 to 19, that one chunk of 5 verses, talks about the temple. Then verse 20. Let me read 15 to 19 also. 14 says, let no one eat fruit of you hereafter. Jesus curses the tree. So then they came to Jerusalem. Then Jesus went into the temple and began to drive out those who bought and sold in the temple, and overturned the tables out of the money changers and the seats of those who sold doves. And he would not allow anyone to carry wares through the temple, no passage for anything, Then he taught, saying to them, is it not written, my house shall be called a house of prayer for all nations, but you made it a den of thieves? And the scribes and the priests heard it and sought how they might destroy him, for they feared him, because all the people were astonished at his teaching. Went into the temple, really caused a very big spiritual revival. A lot of people were in agreement with him. Right kind of man has come, dealing with all this corruption nonsense going on inside the temple. He's doing whatever we always thought we should do. Good. He's making the right point, they think. And the priests and scribes were afraid of him. Verse 19, the evening had come. When the evening had come, he went out of the city. This is the practice. Come in, do whatever you want to do, get out, hit and run kind of thing, Come into Jerusalem, do all this and get out, And next day, listen to this. Now in the morning, as they passed by. See, this is the sequence in which happened. It happened. You cannot blame the sequence for this idea that it's about the temple, You can't say the temple happened in the middle, therefore it must be about the temple. The temple happened in the middle because it happened that way. That's all. They passed by, they saw the fig tree dried up from the roots. And Peter, remembering, said to him, Rabbi, look, the fig tree which you cursed has withered away. Now, they all see the fig tree because they remember Jesus cursing it yesterday going into Jerusalem. Today, coming back into Jerusalem on the way inside, they noticed that the tree had withered from its roots. Clear, visible difference. And Peter always speaks up first. He says, the tree that you cursed has withered away. Now, if you were Jesus and you were talking about this, and you are the one that cursed the fig tree, and your disciples said, Lord, the tree that you cursed has withered away, this would be the right point in the story to say, whatever happened to this fig tree, I guarantee you will happen one day to the temple. This is the whole point I'm trying to make. He could have said that. Or he could have said it even in a veiled manner. Put it across in some other way. He could have put it up, but he never do. In fact, he directly speaks about something else. Look at the response. The question and the astonishment of Peter and the disciples is this. The tree that you cursed has withered away. They're just stunned because Jesus said, let no man eat fruit of you hereafter, and the tree is cursed. Dried up from the roots in 24 hours. There's nothing there. No leaves, nothing, just standing there, just dry. Stunned by the whole thing. How the curse could take effect in 24 hours in this way. Good place for Jesus to insert his point about what he's talking about, and he's doing it. I believe he's doing it because this is the right place. How does he do it? What is his response? Verse 22 says, Jesus answered and said to them. See, he's teaching. He's a typical rabbi. He's teaching the disciples as he goes and comes, as he walks and as he shows them this and that, he begins to teach. As things happen, he begins to teach. He says, he said to them, have faith in God. Now, even for a person who doesn't understand any Greek, if you have a good English Bible, there's an English audience, and most of you have good Bibles, a lot of good English Bibles with some kind of marginal footnote, footnote or some marginal thing, rendering, it will say that instead of have faith in God, it could be have the faith of God. They suggest an alternative rendering. Why? Because in the Greek language, it's only faith God. It's not have faith in God or of God or anything. You make sense out of it, and according to context, you insert the in or of or whatever it is, That's the way it works. So the translators have inserted in, have faith in God, because they think that he's teaching about faith here. So let's say have faith in God. But really looking at it thoroughly, others found out, not me. Some people think I'm the cause of all these. This is my disclaimer, not me. Others have found out long before I was born. They found out that this should not be in God, it should be of God. It's more appropriate to say, have faith of God, because of the question and the answer. If you look at the question and the answer, of God is better. Now, I've dealt with it very thoroughly and for many weeks under the series called the Faith of God kind of faith, a series that you may want to hear. But the thing is this, let me just quickly say this. They say, have faith of God is the better translation. Why? Because what is the question? What is the question that Jesus is responding to? Or what is the statement that Jesus was responding to? He was responding to the statement, the Lord, the tree that you cursed has withered. He's astonished. The disciples are astonished. And Jesus is saying, have faith in God. They say, no, it should be have faith of God. Why? Jesus is trying to say, see, the way you believe is not right. That's not how faith works. The way I believe is how faith works. What is the difference between how you believe and how I believe? The way you believe is you see, and after you see, you believe. The way I believe is I say and I believe whatever I say will come to pass. When I looked at the fig tree and said, let no one eat fruit of you hereafter, I believed at that moment that whatever I said will come to pass. But you didn't believe that. See, your faith is not the kind of biblical faith that I have, he says. Jesus is simply saying there is a difference between the way you believe and the way I believe. I'm not astonished at what has happened. You are astonished. I'm not astonished because I spoke, and the moment I spoke, I considered it done. Now, this has implication all the way to verse 25 and so on. And I will show that. This is linked to the whole passage, So he says, have faith of God. That means have my kind of faith, the kind of faith that you see me show you. And then goes on to explain how this faith works. What is the difference between Peter's faith and Jesus' faith? Peter believed after seeing, Jesus believed when he spoke. Actually, the truth is this: if you can see, you can't believe. Believing and seeing don't go together. That is why the biblical definition of faith found in Hebrews 11:1 says, faith is the substance of things hoped for and evidence of things not seen. Faith has to do with the unseen. If you can see it, you don't have to have faith. Suppose you came in here today and didn't find me here today, and you brought your friend to meet me or something like that, and you said, come, we'll meet Pastor Sam or something, and you came here and you didn't find me here. You tell your friend, don't worry, he's here. I know he's here. Believe me, right? See, that makes sense, right? You're saying to your friend, believe me, he's here. He'll be here. He's out there somewhere. He'll come in here and he's going to preach. Believe me. Now, suppose I come in, would you look at your friend and say, believe me, he's here? That doesn't make any sense because I'm here. You can see me that I'm there. When you can see, you can't believe. It is not possible to believe what you see because you don't have to believe what you see. You have to believe only when you can't see. Believing has to do with things not seen. Hello? That's the way it works. So Jesus is saying your faith is not faith at all. What you are showing, Peter, is not faith at all. What I am showing is what faith is. Faith believes the moment the word is spoken, it's done. See, that's why I brought in last week's sermon and took 5 minutes to remind you of that. The word and faith has connection. Faith believes that when it spoke, already the work is done. The tree looked cursed the next day, but the root got cursed the moment he spoke it. For it to show up outside, it took 24 hours, right? So just because you didn't see it, it didn't mean that it didn't happen. It happened, but you can see it only 24 hours later, all right? So now a lot of people still have a problem with Jesus cursing the fig tree. They say, my God, Jesus, the good Lord, how can he curse a fig tree? It's so wrong. Only if he had cursed the temple, then you can justify this cursing. Otherwise, this cursing is so out of character with what Jesus would do. Let's deal with that. I say to you, he cursed the fig tree to teach us a lesson about faith. Now, if he taught the faith lesson only by using the positive utterances, then you will end up believing that if you spoke positively, if you said positive words, it will come to pass. But you will not believe that if you spoke negative words, it will come to pass. The problem with human beings in the fallen world, with their fallen nature, is this, that they're constantly speaking negative words, and that is what is killing them. That is what is killing them. You just find in the world how the devil has inserted negative talk into people, infused it, without even knowing they will speak about it. You know, in some English-speaking places, you will find certain expressions, very, they'll say, I'm tickled to death. I can understand how you're tickled. One person was saying how that person had a terrible problem in the stomach, something was going on, and finally went to the doctor and they found out, and she got operated, and she's home and she's just tickled to death. I felt like saying, wonderful, she got healed but died. They use that word just like that. So, you may say, well, that doesn't mean anything, that doesn't matter and all that. Yeah, maybe so. But the thing is, the truth is, our language is so infused with death, lifelessness, darkness, failure, emptiness. Since the fall of man, human language has become infused with things that pull us down and drag us down, my friend, on the whole. I'm not just talking about one person just saying tickled to death. I'm talking about some people always talking death, always talking darkness, always talking failure, always talking, things that are negative. So, one of the things in faith is, if you want to live by faith, a person who wants to successfully live by faith and operate in faith in their life has to understand the power of their own words. We all Christians understand the power of God's word. The problem with Christians is we don't understand the power of our own words. Yet the Bible speaks so much about the power of our own words. It says, consider the big ship. Though it is so big, it is driven by a small rudder. It's about the tongue. The tongue is a tree of life, it says. Joy comes by the word of mouth, the Bible says. Now you can see why some people don't have joy at all, Very difficult for them, If it comes from the word of your mouth, then the words must be words that will produce joy, my friend, really. Otherwise, it can't. You just take the Bible and find out what all it says about the tongue and the power of the tongue. You'll be amazed. You'll be astonished at the whole thing. James chapter 3, particularly in the New Testament, is just, you can't outbeat it. Totally about the tongue, So Jesus is trying to teach faith in a holistic manner. He has to emphasize the negative as well as the positive. Without emphasizing, you see, all the teachers do it, If I have to tell you what something is, suppose I say, I'm going to teach about what sin is, I'll probably start with what sin is not. And then go to what sin is, because you got to show the negative and then positive. It helps, to look at both sides. So Jesus is showing what faith is and how faith works. He's got to show the negative and the positive. It works in the negative as well as the positive way. Because we're cursing all the time. It has become part of our nature. It is part of our behavior. In the fallen world, this thing has been so infused into our character and into our language. So Jesus says, if you want to live by faith, learn to speak only what God says. Jesus said, I speak only what my Father speaks, and I do only what the Father says. That's why he was so powerful. He says, learn that. So he was trying to show the negative. And cursing one tree is not going to cause big damage. Sorry, dear tree lovers. There are people out there in the world that say, have you hugged your tree today? You know, that kind of thing. But, you know, I love trees also. I wouldn't want to cut up any tree at all. And I wouldn't want to curse a tree, really. You know, and if you did cut up one thing, you know, you'd want to plant 10 more to replace that, you know, which will be good. I believe all that. But a tree is a tree. You can sacrifice one tree to teach big teaching on faith. That's the whole point there. Jesus, thank God, he cursed the fig tree, but otherwise I'd be cursing every day. And something will be dying every day in my life. And then only I'll find out, my God, my words are killing this stuff, you know. Some people are looking at me and saying, well, you don't curse, brother. Read James chapter 3, I think verse 10, it says, out of the same mouth comes cursing and blessing. How is it, he says? How do Christians have out of the same mouth blessing and cursing coming? Sometimes it's cursing, sometimes it's blessing. Why? Because people don't know that cursing will work. We believe blessing will work. Right? That's why even irreligious people, not even religious, they drop their wife in church in India, go out, take care of their business, come back to pick up the wife after the sermon is over. And they find the preacher getting up there to give the benediction. And they open the door and stick their head in, you know. Just to get the benediction, good words on their head, because they believe in the blessing. Blessing, he's pronouncing blessing, they want to get it, you know. We believe in blessing, we just don't believe in cursing. We believe in blessing, we believe that somebody will just come and bless our house, bless our car, bless our business, bless our everything. We believe blessing, but every day we are cursing the business, every day we are cursing the salary, every day we are cursing the work of our hands. We don't think it's cursing at all. Some people say, where did I curse? Well, when you bring the salary home and you say, here, I don't know how long it will come. I don't know, I don't see how 6 of us can eat out of this for many days. Now you tell me what difference there is between saying, see how long 6 people can eat out of this. I don't think it's enough at all. And saying, let no one eat fruit of you hereafter. Think deeply now. Plus, minus, add, deduct, multiply. Do your mathematics. I will tell you there is nothing different. Nothing much different. Few words here and there. It's the same thing. Translates basically into the same thing. Monday morning you get up and say, I hate this work. I hate to look at that boss of mine, that stupid face. And then soon you don't have that work. No wonder you hated it. You cursed it. It became cursed, dried, withered away. You see? See, we don't look at these things as cursing. That is why I believe Jesus said, let's sacrifice one tree today. So forever, this will be preached, not only in AFT in Chennai, but all over the world, that this fig tree that was cursed will be put up before people and the lesson will be preached, that when you open your mouth and speak, remember, what you say is what you will get.
Attention all pastors. Sam P. Chelladurai invites you to a pastor's seminar at AFT Chennai on the 21st, 22nd and 23rd of January 2015, every day from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Please note that all messages will be in Tamil only. Prior registration with a fee of ₹600 is required. You can register online at www.revsam.org or you can call us at the numbers on the screen. We look forward to seeing you there. Let's clap our hands. The Bible says, enter his gates with thanksgiving.
Enter his gates with thanksgiving. Come into his courts with praise. enter his presence rejoicing, singing great and mighty is his name. Praise him with the sound of the trumpet, praise him with the timbrel and harp, and every creature in heaven and earth lift the sound of praise, sing with all their heart. For the Lord is good, 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 and his mercy endureth forever. For the Lord is good, 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 and his mercy endureth forever. For the Lord is good, and his mercy endureth forever. Jesus the Son is exalted, maker of everything. Come now and bow down before him. Lift your hands in praise, raise your voice to sing. For the Lord is good, 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 and his mercy endureth forever. For the Lord is good, 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 and his mercy endureth forever.